So what are the key sectors with growth potential? Well, the enclave oil sector is dominated by Sonangol and the oil majors. An MOU has been signed between the Angolan and South African governments to boost South African involvement in the hydrocarbon sector, but this is not where the main opportunities lie. The real opportunities lie in the non-oil sector, and in particular those sectors that are crying out for increased competition. Telecommunications is a major growth area, buoyed by the explosion in mobile phone ownership over the last decade. With the installation of a plethora of new digital cable networks across Africa, the expansion of internet services, probably via mobile telephone networks, offers huge potential, and South African companies could lead this drive. The banking sector is also expanding rapidly, and the recent opening of Standard Bank's first fully serviced branch in Luanda could herald the entry of other South African banks into the sector. There are also long-standing plans to set up a stock exchange in Luanda, which could act as a conduit for South African capital entering Angola. But I should emphasize that these plans have been stalled for a long time. Agriculture is another prime area for development after the failure of the government's Aldeia Nova program to revive domestic output. Angola was self-sufficient in food production and a leading exporter of agricultural commodities in the 1970s. And today, the country has huge resources of unused, fertile land and abundant water resources. This creates opportunities for increasing production of crops, both for domestic consumption and for export. The green industry is also in its infancy, and South African companies' expertise in the renewables sector could provide a major competitive advantage when going into this market. Outside of diamonds, there is also huge potential for exploiting Angola's rich mineral endowment. Projects are already underway to develop iron ore reserves in the south, but there are also known reserves of copper, gold, and uranium, and further exploration is sure to reveal other minerals across Angola's enormous territory. And finally, the services sector is underdeveloped. There is a dearth of companies providing support in communications, advertising, and PR. In fact, if ever a government ever needed a good PR guru, it's Angola. These are the most obvious opportunities presented by Angola, but I'm sure that today's discussion will throw out many other ones. So to conclude, the question facing South African businesses is how long should they wait before taking the plunge? Is it now or never? Angola has enormous potential, as previous investment has focused almost exclusively on the enclave oil and diamond sectors, and to a lesser extent on the financial sector and trade financing. But with political relations between Angola and South Africa at their warmest in decades, there is a clear opportunity for South African companies to gain access to the Angolan market with the full assistance of both governments. Angola is continuing to invest heavily in infrastructure. There are ambitious plans to construct entire cities from scratch, and mega projects such as a new railway line and a road bridge over the Congo River, which will require the involvement and expertise of foreigners. But it will require a certain type of business to take advantage of this opportunity. For companies that are not seeking a smash-and-grab raid on Angola, or that are not content to exist within the bubble of the enclave oil sector, a different approach is needed. If you're seeking to establish a long-term and fruitful relationship with the country, then you need to do business the Angolan way. This means establishing a permanent presence in the country, constructing an elaborate network of contacts in the government and the private sector, and, dare I say it, learning Portuguese. Outside the oil sector, many foreign businesses do prosper in Angola. But in my experience, when they do, it is because of the strength of their connections. One of the remarkable things about Angola is the variety and complexity of networks constructed by foreign businessmen through their patience, innovation, and cunning. It is only through such well-established relationships that Angolan businesses are built and are able to prosper. Of course, this is nothing new to South African businesses that have long operated in this way across Africa, but the case is particularly extreme in Angola and is a major reason why so many investors have been prevented from pursuing business there. As Angola's economy becomes more entwined with the global economy, the country will need new partners to help guide it and influence internal changes in a positive way. Angola also needs a key partner to help integrate its market into the SADC trade zone, an objective that has been repeatedly postponed. I would suggest that South Africa is the perfect partner for this role, that Angola's difficult business environment is one in which South African businesses are particularly well equipped to thrive.